I'm really curious. Before we go to Jeff, Sheldon, what did you see in M2Bio that you liked? Obviously, you talked about management all the time, and you already mentioned that Jeff is someone you can trust and you've worked with before. Is there anything else that kind of stood out to you as like, hey, this is why I think M2Bio has legs?
Well, first thing, I think that Jack and I were impressed with Jeff's knowledge of the space. And yes, CEOs are knowledgeable about their company, but I think that, we were able to do a lot of due diligence with speaking to Jeff and his understanding of what he's doing, how his strategy is on corporate restructuring, which he's going to be doing some of. He understands the marketplace. The company was the name, and I've had so many inquiries since I made the investment. Actually, not because of the name Wuhan, but it caught people's attention. So it definitely is on the radar screen of people that follow what we're doing, and we're quite interested in the type of psychedelics being done. And then the way that we learned about, some of the science, some of the collaborative and scientific, let's call it, personnel associated with M2Bio, the targets that they were going after, we found unique. The science seemed to be more advanced than many other companies, say perhaps in North America. They had multi-institutional, if you will, collaborations. So they had platforms of where they'll be able to perform clinical trials. There's IP around the company in terms of its technology. It sort of ticked off a lot of boxes that for us, this is a nascent space. It's very new. The whole regulatory environment, the tailwinds are now finally coming into it, where it's no longer taboo. I think cannabis opening up paved the way here. We're convinced totally of the future of the whole psychedelics and how they're going to affect people's lives and improve people's lives. And as I hear some scientists say, they basically liberate your mind. So there's a lot of great things here. And we felt this was a great start for us to take a meaningful position in a prospective company. And we think Jeff's done a great job in bringing the company to this point.
Yeah. No, awesome.
Thank you, Sheldon.
Here, so Jeff, now a question for you. And hey, that was awesome. Appreciate the insight there. You covered all the points, which was fantastic. Other than the weird name, I mean, they have a lot going for them. But I know that should be here changed soon. So Jeff, question for you too. We've talked about raising money before, even on some videos we've done. You're like, I don't want to take money just from anybody. They have to be the right person, and you're very firm on that. I'm curious now, and I'm sure you see where I'm going with the question. Why Sheldon, other than, yes, you guys had a friendship? What do you see in him that he can bring to M2Bio?
Great question, Jason. So, and you're right. I mean, the history is there. You could watch our previous interviews about M2Bio, and you have asked me that many times. So we have not taken money from anyone because it's important who I take the money from. And when Sheldon and I got connected, we had that immediate same thought process of, how this can all work and in the right steps. And having a strategic partner is so much more important than just having money from anybody. And when we discussed what our timeline is and the next steps, Sheldon was in complete agreement with his mind and how he would like to see it happen. So there would never be an issue of, you shouldn't have done this, you should have done that, you should have done this, should have done that. And you got to have a partner that's there to support your thinking going forward, not there to block you. And he's there to encourage, support, bring his wisdom. Listen, Sheldon's got great wisdom. He's been in the game as longer than me, a couple more years than I. But like Sheldon, like me, I mean, there isn't almost a person we don't know in the capital markets industry that we can't pick up the phone and call and say, hey, here's what we got. Here's why this should be interesting for you. And those are the types of people, having that network is just critical. Sheldon's network is massive. And, Sheldon knows other people like I do, and we're all good friends Sheldon will fit in so nicely with the network that I've been developing quietly on the side with M2Bio. That soon, we'll all be part of kind of a really neat, happy family of doing some great things. And we have that same mindset of working hard, getting up early in the morning, busting your butt, and the accomplishment. And at the end of the day, it's, what have you executed? Where's the deliverable? Rinse, repeat, do it again tomorrow. And we do it. It's a labor of love. We do it because we love it. We love seeing at the end of the day, what did we do? What did we accomplish? Okay, boom. If we didn't do it today, let's go for it tomorrow. And it's that whole attitude that I love that Sheldon has that fires me up even more. I mean, I need people around me to fire me up just as much as, I'm always fired up drinking my beautiful coffee, but, I still love to have people around me that are encouraging me all the time. So it's been, that's why Sheldon is that type of guy, and the relationship is going to be amazing.
Yeah. No, awesome. Hey, both of you guys had fantastic answers. So is there anything you guys wanted to say about each other's answer before I hop into other stuff?
All good with me.
No, I just think it's there's a lot of synergy here, and I think what we also have in Jeff is a partner who is open to growth. And one of the things that I pride myself, I'm quite involved in, is creating strategic partnerships amongst other companies we're involved in, because we have a pretty wide portfolio in technology with hospitals and research in biotech, and we think we can bring a lot of value add here outside of what Jeff is working on a daily basis, that perhaps could be either out of the box or leverage up, because the only way to scale a business is through partnerships. I'm very, very strongly advocate of that. And we feel that we can bring partnerships to the table that really would be a hand in glove to where Jeff wants his vision of the company and where he'd like to take it.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. No, an awesome answer. And Sheldon, I know we've done our little interviews, so I have to ask you just for here. Well, of course, Jeff's here, and all of his viewers are going to be coming in from M2Bio. Do you want to give a little intro for ThreeD Capital, and just what what's the vision? What do you guys do there? Obviously, the announcement was an investment from ThreeD Capital, with you joining as a strategic advisor. So for the people that have never heard of ThreeD, do you want to give them a little insight?
Sure, I'll try to be succinct, because I can talk on and on about it. It's my passion. It's my life. It's what I do every day and I live to do. And it really is to get behind tremendous entrepreneurs with great ideas in very, very disruptive industries. And the world now is different in my investment career than it's ever been. It's no longer you just invest in this traditional software company or this traditional mining company. With the green world, with the biotech world on fire, cannabis has started, psychedelics now. These are all individual verticals that could take up 100% of your time. At ThreeD, we get involved early, and we like to be value-added investors. So sometimes people say, oh, you're an ETF, and we're not really an ETF. We're really more like a venture capital fund that happens to be public, where VCs tend to work with the companies to help them get where they want to go. Perhaps we can bring people to the table. So human capital. Financial capital has never been a problem. I've raised a tremendous amount of money for companies that we've been invested in. So currently we have over almost 50 investments, but probably about 10 that we're really active, involved on a daily basis. And even that 10, it's not fully active because we kind of pick our spots. We're not management. We don't micromanage companies. We're a resource for them. So that's a bit different than other companies out there. And we basically are interested in getting involved very early, closer to the start of a business. Rather, we're not risk averse, let's say. Although I like to say that we're actually risk averse in the sense that when you buy at low valuations, when things don't work out, gravity doesn't have to go that far to the bottom. But if you buy with elevated, hyped values of companies, then you're vulnerable to the swings of the market and so forth. And another thing that we like to do at ThreeD is help really add the value to the company so that it becomes more valuable. And that's where we really get excited and bring whatever resources we can to the table to help companies get there. So we're kind of like a small venture fund, if you will, and we split it sort of between what I'll call the disruptive tech vertical and junior mining, which is something that I've been involved with for quite some time. I can get into a whole dissertation, but I won't right now about why I believe junior mining and cryptocurrencies are really going to have a place in the world today. With the U.S. $27 trillion debt, which is something like $225,000 per taxpayer in America, and all they're going to do is issue trillions more. So money is nothing, and it's going to depreciate, and you got to put your money where there's value. And part of that value is in junior mining, parts of like the Bitcoins of the world, and then a bunch of it is in small companies like Jeff's that are going to grow beyond what may be inflation rates or depreciation of currency rates. So we're kind of in that realm of early stage companies.